with individuals. See, was the talk of the town is going down the word in the curve. You heard me. First live of the new year. So we're getting it in. Hope everybody had a lovely new year and spend it safe and with loved ones. Alrighty. Whoopsie. Setting this up. This is going to be the first live of the new year. Alright, we Gucci. Now, for those who haven't seen or know, the G Series is back on this channel. So we're going to be dropping the G Series on this channel for those who, are interested in that. What's cracking like a little Rich? What's good, my boy? Que es la buena vida, carnal? The homie Sal is definitely up in the building. Mr. Pasta is definitely up in the casa for the raza. ¿Qué onda, carnal? Que es la buena vida? I hope you guys lovely New Year's. Que se la pasaron pisteando. Comida china, pasada, pues. Órale, carnal. I hardly ever crave Chinese food. What up? Have a great afternoon. Serio, it's raining outside. It is. It's raining over here también. It's been raining for the last past days. Valiendo shit. People couldn't really go all out, because of the rain. I feel you. That cheap seed oil from... Is that the good stuff? Is not the real stuff? They need the avocado oil? Que coconut oil, que avocado oil, que... está cabrón. Buffets need to step it up and fuck the seed oil. Hey, likewise, carnal. Hey, shout out to the 559. Nah, but the buffet shit needs to be cheap though, bro, because they got to be putting out all this food, and they really got time to be wasting on preparing it chingon. It's kind of, that's the reason why it's a buffet and it's cheap. You're kind of like trading in the quality for the quantity. A car show in my city canceled because of the rain. Yeah, Simon. Even when they had what's that shit called? The Rose Parade? Or when they do the fucking, the floats and shit, it was raining. But yet somehow people were still out there in the rain. A la verga. I would have been like, fuck that. Rain is coming. Oh, rain has been here for us, bro. Rain has been here for us. 559 County Doggy. It's the land of the perros. The race parade was still going even. Yeah, I seen. Maina was watching it. Y'all can have car. Well, most of the car shows, even though there is some that are indoors, most of the car shows are outdoors over here, though. You can find them like in just like the park or like main boulevards. Oh, no dogs. All right. Olive oil, avocado oil are top tier. Oils of butter and beef. Mejor usar el pinche manteca, ¿no? The Mexican way. Sa manteca. Paz. Si vamos a comer a gusto. I worked the Rose Bowl yesterday. People still went. Yeah, I was seeing. Yeah. Oh, especially for the football games. For the football games, they don't fuck around, bro. They do not fuck around. Can't stop them for a good football game. First day back at work after as soon as I got home, I took a leave. Oh, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, gotta get the body back to the rutina. Lard is good too. Yeah, it's unhealthy, but it's definitely good. It definitely makes the food taste a whole lot better. Ask Blackie Fontana about the of this. No. Yeah, I believe that it definitely cracks up there. You know, just like it does down here. I'm not people that are in denial of the facts of things. I know the North definitely runs stuff up there in their areas. Saying otherwise, you're in denial and full of shit. You're still doing nothing. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm supposed to drop one today. Hopefully, it uploads. I've been doing some, but as of recently, I don't know if it's because the traction of the channel, right? But I YouTube always comes with the and flags videos and shit like that. Because certain individuals feel some type of way, and I understand. You know what I mean? But we just out here, we just trying to help give some some free publicity. But you know how the gente is, pues, and I understand, pues. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it. I get it. Can't wait for the payday. Oh yeah, 'cause the holiday pay shit. I know exactly what you're talking about. Then, oh yeah, Simon. Yeah, I think I remember that incident. Does Bakersfield have nothing else? I don't know. Maybe. I don't live in Bakersfield, so I wouldn't actually know if there actually is or isn't any, right? So I'm not gonna come and try to act like I do. It potentially could. I don't know. El Boy Pasadena was up here. Oh, también. All right, Blackie. He was a real one. No doubt. Yeah, Blackie Fontana was definitely with the business. I actually knew the individual. He definitely was with the business. No, not in Bakers. I know they got Southerners and Crips and Bakers. Oh no, yeah. There's definitely a lot of Southside barrios and definitely a lot of Crips. Yes, this is true. They can bring out anywhere people just enjoy. Yeah, I know. People like swear like they know what's up. With certain places like you get a lot of that down here as well. Like, oh, that barrio ain't around. Like, bro, I heard that about every single barrio. Who's the one that are tagging and why are all these candles all over the place? I have no idea because apparently ain't nobody doing nothing and nobody's around. If we were to really believe everyone that's yapping in the comments, I think I heard that about every neighborhood already. That narrative. Delano is a device line. Oh yeah, because I know some individuals from Southern gang in Delano. Fun fact: he actually used to live down here. As a matter of fact, he was from a Southside neighborhood from down here, but then he went up there and started his own neighborhood. So I don't know. I guess he disowned his old gang. I really don't know. Right? That's how I took it. But bueno. We have upstate. Delano is the less and yeah, upstates. They probably have this close to making sure they have those. Maybe Southern Central Valley, Delano. Delano is the first town. No, so. Orale, unless you live in the project area, you wouldn't know. Yeah, exactly, facts. Sereno Hood started in the East Mountain Towns. Like when it comes to the upstate movement, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about that to, proclaim. I would actually have to do my research on that. And that's crazy because I never even thought about that subject in itself. Like, where did the upstate movement actually start? Actually, yeah, it would actually be a pretty interesting subject. And I happen to know several upstaters, so maybe I could get some info. Yeah, because I know that, yeah, that, certain areas when it comes to the upstaters are more talked about than other areas, but potentially these smaller areas is probably where they started instead of the bigger areas. Because most people say it's San Jose where the movement started, but I don't know. When I went to Chiques, it was a big land close to the beach. Yeah, Chiques, yeah. Chiques definitely cracks. The land of the Chiques. And no, Chiques does not stand for Chicago like certain people say it does. People are funny. Chiques is actually a word that they used to call younger Chicanos back in the days. That's where that term came from. That's why all the gangs use it, yet they feud with each other, though. It's not just for the east side. Is a heavy YouTuber rapper ate them. There's a rapper from there? Oh, and that noise that you guys hear in the background, that is definitely the rain because it's starting to really pour down now. The moving into the yeah, probably. I feel like when they were somewhere got closer. Yeah, probably. Just solid individuals on both sides. Yes, on every side, as a matter of fact, every side is gonna have them. That's just the way stuff is. It's gonna have its rankers, its pussies, its snitches, its down folks, shooters, and all that. They're gonna exist in all sides. I work with farmers. They be throwing subliminals. They be throwing subliminals. Why would they throw subliminals? If you feel some type of way, it's better to be upfront about it. That's how food from Oxnard called it. Well, Chiques, they used to call younger Chicanos Chiques before. Chicanitos, pues, Chiques for short. Have you been to Bakersfield? I've been to Bakersfield, well, a long time ago. I don't even remember. Fresno, también, when I was smaller, but I don't remember. I know we have family up there. Is that getting in effect that? Serio. Happy New Year's. Hey, likewise, Drunken Chef. Go subscribe to Drunken Chef channel. It was because of that. Actually, it was because the younger Chicanos were referred to as Chicanistas, so they would just call them Chiques for short. That's when they used to have the dances back then, right there, like the suit dances, like the Pachuco dances, right? The younger Chicanos were known to cause trouble, right? So people would, you know, be on the lookout, like security guards and shit like that, from the lookout for these younger Chicanos, right? These younger Pachucos, and to not let them in. These troublemakers were referred to as Chiques, Chicanitos. That is where the term came from. That is why they all use that term. So it's kind of saying like Colonia Chicanos, pues East Side Colonia Chicanos, or South Side Chicanos. South Side Colonia, South Side Chiques, South Side Chicanos, West Side Chiques, West Side Chicanos. That's pretty much what it stands for. But people that are not aware, they try to come to their own conclusions. So certain people would try to throw stuff out there like, "Oh, it stands for little Chicago," or just kind of like when people said that flats means first locals on the street when it doesn't. Flats is referred to. That is how the Europeans call projects, low income housings. They call them flats. You know, and the reason why the flats title is stood here in the Americas, considering it's not European, is because that's what the Europeans, when they were feeding the war and they came over here, that is what they refer to as these areas, because there was a big population of Europeans over here, and it just stuck. Because when these first neighborhoods started, I had already mentioned that there was a lot of Russians and Jewish and Italian people that were in these gangs that started these neighborhoods, because that's how it was before. There wasn't like a big branch of Hispanics before. We're talking about in the early days where there wasn't that many Hispanics here, right? They were still outnumbered by Caucasians, by the whites. That's why they were able to be mistreated, because the numbers was not in their favors. Because people often think that when they think about Southern California, they think that it has always been heavily populated with Mexicans, when that's not the case. As a matter of fact, that is the reason why we lost California and other parts to the Americans. Because there wasn't that many Mexicans in these areas to begin with, to defend it. Mexicans really didn't see what was the whole point of fighting for these areas if there's hardly none of our people here. You did have some, but very few. It was mostly natives, which Mexico didn't get along with. Fun fact. Because there was a heavy hatred between Mexicans and Native Americans tribes. I have a video talking about that on this channel, right? Hey, likewise, carnal. Would you braid your hair? If it was long enough. Why do people from Vegas put little? No, that's actually the people that are not from the area that call it that. Can claim the West Coast as theirs. Well, they had been here for a very, very, very long time. I mean, Europeans is what started America, so technically, well, not started it, but the reason it became America, pues, because obviously there was people already here. Little Mexico, even though I'm a taco killer, I eat tacos too. Tacos ain't even Mexican; it's Arab food. Well, tacos actually is Mexican, right? Um, the Arab thing, it refers to certain of dishes when it comes to Mexican culture. Um, like the pastor is Arab. That is what the Mexicans learned a pastor from the Arabs. Rivalry between the fuck yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Why don't Americans call themselves European Americans? Because Americans refuse their history. The Americans think our founding fathers were Americans, bro. That's how sad it is. I just go hard. Mexicans ate rabbit. Mexicans had beans, rabbit, and whatever animal. Corn. They ate a lot of corn too. Maíz, pues. Are we talking about the Spanish or are we talking about the indigenous? In particular. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yes. We learned from them how to cook the al pastor when they would, but they wouldn't use al pastor. Obviously, they their form of al pastor was lamb, right? But since lamb wasn't big in Mexico, they used pork. That's the reason they just used the way they cooked the lamb. But instead of lamb, they used pork, obviously, because there was more pork. And that's how it came about. Tacos ain't Mexican. Well, the taco is not the same as the original. Well, what we think of when we think about tacos, though. It's similar, but it's not the same, though. We changed some stuff, obviously the meat and the type of wrapping, which was a tortilla, while they used I forgot what theirs were called, but it's similar to a tortilla. And no, it's not pita. I'm talking about back then. Our founding fathers were British. Yeah, but people in America say that their people are American, though. I don't know. Like when people say that this built off of immigrants, they literally is literally what happened. But they'll be like, no. Just like you get people that say America didn't steal this land from Mexico because we paid for it. They sold it. Yeah, by force. Mm. Not because they wanted, because they were forced to. You just want to criticize the dumb process. No, I don't. I'm just speaking facts, bro. I really, when it comes to like, who's the first or the originators, I'm not that type of person. I don't care to be that my people were the first to do this and that. That's not the type of person I am. I'm not that I'm not one of those that tries to inject the raza into everything. And why is the raza dumb though? Why do you have to refer to them as the dumb raza though? You don't like the raza? And y'all still are a bunch of dumb. Why are Indios dumb though? That doesn't make any sense. A lot of people learn a lot from the indigenous, like how to grow crops, for that matter. It, if if the indigenous didn't help, you know, these individuals, they wouldn't have been able to survive in the new world. That's just the facts of things. Well, there's a lot of Americans that are uneducated as well, though. That just doesn't fall to one set group of people. You have uneducated people in all groups. You have educated people in all groups. I don't even know. That's not true. If that would have been the case, then we would have been still stuck in our old Stone Age ways. But that's not the case. The big brochas. But what does the big brochas have anything to do with the indigenous people, though? Like just because you view gangsters a certain way, that doesn't reflect the raza. Even though they are raza, they're just a small base of raza. That's kind of like if we're saying that MAGA is the representation of Americans, when it's not though. It's just a small percentage of the Americans. You're stuck in Cholo. Well, maybe that's how you see it. That's probably, but to say that that's the actual facts of things, well, isn't true either, though. When the Black Panther movie came out, some black folks were criticizing white blacks or Mexicans. Yeah, but the people that pay attention to stuff like that are just individuals, though. Like people that actually care about that kind of stuff, though. Are just small petty individuals, though. It's not the actual core thinking, of these individuals. Happy New Year, Shadow. Hey, likewise. Don't wear shit, but don't wear shit, but don't told us. Huh? I don't get it. We don't rep nothing but the cholos. We don't represent nobody but ourselves here. That's simply all we do. We don't speak in behalf of people. We speak in behalf of ourselves. Oh yeah, for sure. That's never gonna stop. Music is what makes it go round. Music makes the world go round. Nah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.